free? This is the Raptor News reactions on the latest gaming news, brought to you by Sean over on the Naughty Dog website. And he of course writes that the Uncharted The Lost Legacy got announced during the PlayStation Experience 2016. And with this information, that some of you might get it for free if you already bought the Digital Deluxe Edition or the Explorers Pack. You can still buy these editions. With that information, we can garner some interesting things about the price and the length of this DLC. So let's dive in a little bit. So what is interesting, of course, first is that it will hit in 2017. Maybe you are not sure yet. Well, it will be ready. So what they already said is that this DLC will be pretty beefy. It will not be like the Left Behind. Of course, Left Behind was the Last of Us DLC, fantastic, but it lasted only 2 hours. Anyway, this will be way more beefier. It will be even wider than we saw in Uncharted 4. So, of course, when you went to Madagascar in Uncharted 4, it was pretty big. You can go to multiple areas, and you still had the feeling that you were really exploring Madagascar, while there was still like a linear path going through this. Well, this Uncharted The Lost Legacy story chapter, or whatever they want to call it, it's like wider. So there might be more paths that you can choose to approach different things. Of course, super interesting. So let's look a little bit at my price speculation here. So if we go to the PlayStation Store here, you can get the Uncharted 4 A Thief's End, the Digital Deluxe Edition. So this will include the Lost Legacy DLC for 80 bucks. If we go to the normal price, it's $60. So that means that there's a $20 price difference, and they're gonna, get rid of this one. They're gonna get rid of the Digital Deluxe Edition. You can still buy it, but it will be gone on December 13th. So if you still want to buy Uncharted 4, have the DLC as well at launch, you should get this edition. What is interesting is that there's a $20 price difference. So they want to get rid of this right now, and that's mostly because it's probably getting more expensive. We saw this with Dying Light. I don't know if you know that game. It's like an open world zombie game, free running and stuff like that. They changed the season pass for that game because it was way more expensive than they first thought. They first thought, okay, we're selling it for $20, $30, somewhere like that. But then they were, developing that stuff. And then they thought, okay, whoa, we will do way more. We can ask way more money for this. So they still said, okay, the season pass is going away. You can still buy it if you want. It will return for a higher price. And it looks like they're doing this right now because the Uncharted The Lost Legacy seems way bigger than an Uncharted story DLC like the Left Behind was. If we go to the Left Behind, that's 10 bucks. And when it released, it was also $10. $10 for 2 amazing hours. Great value. Great value. So right now, if we look at the Uncharted Digital Deluxe Edition to the normal one, there's a $20 price difference. So you would say that the DLC is probably way more than $20. Otherwise, why would they remove this? Why would they not give you this? And of course, there are some other things that you get with this Digital Deluxe Edition. There's like a triple pack, some multiplayer stuff. So if you're into that, go right ahead. But that means that this is a way better value than buying the standalone DLC and like the multiplayer stuff separately. So they want to get rid of this so that people will buy the standalone DLC. That will probably be, and I'm now guessing because there's like a $20 difference between the normal game and the Digital Deluxe, it will probably be way higher. Otherwise they would just have capped this. If it was going to be $15, then it would not be a great deal to get the Digital Deluxe Edition. What's also interesting is that, before I get to my price prediction, there's also this Explorer Pack. This will also disappear. So the Explorer Pack will also give you some coins to use in the multiplayer and future access to the first ever Uncharted single player story expansion. They already call it story expansion here. Now we know, of course, that it's the Lost Legacy. So they're also getting rid of this one. $25 for some coins in the multiplayer and access to the story expansion. So why get rid of this? This looks like a season pass to me. So if they get rid of this, that means that the standalone DLC will probably be way bigger. So it's probably a good deal to get this right now, because then you have the story DLC on day one for probably a cheaper price, and you also get some multiplayer points. And they of course have the survival coming in December, so should be interesting if you look forward to that. I'll totally jump into that because I like some co-op in Uncharted games. Anyway, what I'm pointing at is with what they said, beefy expansion, it will be huge. I think we're looking at a $30 game right now. It will be way longer than Left Behind. 2 hours was $10. I think we're looking at 7 hours. Hopefully, something around that. So if we go from the 2 hour or 1 hour for $5 metric, that would mean we're looking at a $30. I think that's a safe bet because otherwise, why would they remove these like season passes? So that's these like explore packs that you can buy would net you access to this expansion. They probably were working on this. They thought, okay, we can do way better. We can do way bigger than we initially thought when launching the game back in May. So that is of course what they thought. It will launch in 2017. My guess May. So then they have a year to make this. The Left Behind took less than a year. That of course Last of Us launched in June. Then the DLC launched in February, something like that. Yes, it's February. So that's interesting. They have way more time right now. So if they want to launch this, let's say in May 2017 as well. I think that's a good guess. Maybe March, but I think they need more time. So May, then they have more time. I think we're really looking at a $30, $35 expansion here, and I'm okay with that. If it's worth the price, if it's like super good, if it's still amazing just like Left Behind was. And that's like all we can go off, of course. We can also go off the Uncharted game, and that was of course also great. But also, yeah, this is awesome. Really looking forward to it. Of course, the gameplay we saw, I already had a reaction up on the channel and some other info from where it is set, what we can expect and stuff like that. So be sure to check it out. I have a ton of PlayStation Experience content up on the channel, so be sure to check it out. Like the video if you did, subscribe to stay up to date, and I will speak to you next time.